We are live. I'm your host, Chris, with the CHRILLCAST.
And I'm Will.
And I'm Andrew, the new person here.
Hold on. We got to fix something here. What in the world are you doing? You're breaking the code.
Oh,
Hold on.
Change his name.
Yeah, go for it.
You broke the code, Andrew. What in the world?
You didn't tell me that. You didn't tell me that.
You're part of the team. You got to be on the team, not,
Gotta be
your own
introduced
person.
first before you're part of the team. That's just how it goes,
We have officially added a third co-host, trying it out, seeing how it goes, and see if he likes it. If he hates it, in 2 weeks, you might not see him anymore. But for right now, Andrew is the third part of the co-host, the CHRILLCAST. My goodness, I can't talk. And /frag is rolling in the chat here. He's having so much fun. And Will didn't get the memo, but that's okay. He never gets any memos. Hello, we're getting a lot of warm welcomes for Andrew here, so that's good.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Congrats. That's awesome. Good for you. Okay, so for those that don't remember, Andrew's been on the podcast one other time.
Yes.
Do we want to talk about that first?
We don't want to bring this up.
So he's typing Back to the Future CHRILLCAST. You get this awesome episode that got 40 views back in like 3 years ago. And Andrew's on it. Right there. That's that guy with the sunglasses. And that's the old intro we had like forever ago.
Yep. I miss those days.
Back when we were a little more quirky.
Yep.
A little more cringeworthy.
I didn't get to experience the hate directly, but you told me enough about it. The
Reddit post went away.
Really hates you. Yeah.
Actually,
so pissed.
They removed the Reddit post. That's how angry they were. They're like, don't touch Back to the Future.
Chris, I love the fact that you have the green screen in the background and you didn't use it.
That was the first week I had it. I didn't know how to use it.
Straight baller move.
I literally didn't know how to use it. That was noob Chris. Very noob Chris. Noob worthy. All right. So, Andrew, how have you been since this last podcast you were on?
I've been good. I've moved and everything. So there's been a lot of hecticness on my end. Definitely has interfered with my gaming.
Oh, I bet it has.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite games?
Well, cycles. You can never go wrong with the Elder Scrolls series. So there's just the waiting inevitably for the next one to come out. And then, you always have to dabble a little bit with Dark Souls, Demon Souls, whichever one you want to go and experience pain with. And then with computer games, I've always Total War. You got, for those who might play it, Bannerlord, Mountain Blade. That one's pretty solid, especially once the mods come out for it. You can get a lot of play time out of that. Partial to hitting up the Game of Thrones mods. You can kind of see where I'm at with the nerdiness and what type of games I play.
The real question is, are you still watching The Expanse?
Dude, I finished it.
Did you?
Yeah, I have to read the book still.
And then as far as games from your past, what are some of your favorite older games?
Older games.
I know you liked Borderlands because you used to play that one quite a bit, right?
Not as much. It's just, it depends how far back you look in. Because you could go back to, Game Boy with the Pokemon, and then I rage quit when they kept coming out with a new handheld console every 2 years with the, go from Game Boy Color to Game Boy Advance, and they're like, oh, you need a DS now. It's like, no.
I was livid when I got the Color, and then they had the Advance. It's like, oh, well, screw Nintendo. I'm never buying that one.
and then by the time I finally saved up for the Advance, because, they were only doing certain games in it, they instantly came out with the DS. So...
Colors of Gaming, yes. Red wants to know if you know what Halo is.
I do know what Halo is, but I'm more of a PlayStation person, so I've never owned an Xbox. Just been
but it's on PC, so you're good to go.
Now I am, yes. I have played it. I had friends who played it. You could always have the LAN party, all of that. I was always a big fan of playing Halo with friends. To this day, still remember the main catchphrase that my friends would use. How do you like them apples when you were getting teabagged by the person next to you? Yeah. Yeah.
And then the next question is, do you know what Jack Bros is? Because I can educate you. I know what it is.
No, actually, I do not know that one.
It's a game by Atlas, who makes Persona and other series like Persona, like Shin Megami Tensei. I'm probably about to get canceled for saying that Shin Megami Tensei is like Persona, but that's okay. Jack Bros was made by Atlas. It's like a platforming game for the Virtual Boy, and it has I think it's 3 Jack Bros. My brain is not getting there. I know there's multiple brothers of the Jack family, and they're like the demons from the Persona and Shin Megami Tensei series, and they do this. It's a hilarious platformer. It's really fun. And Demicro always jokes he's going to port it to a modern console.
Do it.
I would love to see it. Let's just put it that way. But I'll give you a quick little look at it, and then we'll move on because I know how much Demicro loves the Jack Bros game. See, it's all that red nastiness from the Virtual Boy.
No.
You got to love it.
It's just headache-inducing.
See if we can get to the actual. See, like Jack Frost, Jack Lantern.
Why red? Like, did they ever explain that? Like, why red and not like any other color?
That has to be to
did you say Persona
people.
before
That's
SMC?
That's just rage. All that red is just rage inducing.
Yeah, it just makes you want to not
like
play.
Mario in hell is what this is.
It's like the exact opposite of that terrible green color they used to paint school walls in.
Right.
So, yeah.
All right. So that's the grilling you're gonna get. The next question is, what do you want to share about the rest of your life, like your dogs or anything else?
Okay. Yeah, I got a golden retriever and a corgi. Corgi picks on the golden retriever, so he's actually the boss. And then we have a cat that they both yearn to love, except for the fact that the cat's too smart for both of them. And that's that.
All right. And you're all settled in finally, but we're working on that webcam and mic situation. So he's on his phone today, guys. Yes. So just bear with us on that.
Yeah, so if I'm looking up, it's because the phone's like right below the computer screen. And
no, he just never looks down. He's always a positive person. He's always looking up.
No, not that positive.
You should just hold it in front of your face for 2 hours.
Yeah, that's what we did in the beginning. All right. So Andrew is going to be joining us for most of the CHRILLCAST episodes going forward, any of the ones he can make, and until he quits on it. No, I'm just kidding.
Wait a minute, do I have the same deal?
No, Will. You're in the LLC officially. Andrew's got to get added if he stays on long enough. But as far as that goes, so Andrew's going to be joining us. I'm going to be taking some breaks here in the near future because I've got a difference in job going on. We'll say that. That's going to be lasting at least a month and a half. So I'll be in and out here and there.
Chris is on special assignment. If he tells you about it, he'll have to kill you.
Secret agent.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
If you see like sand dunes in the background for one podcast, maybe a tropical forest, another.
So if anything goes wrong with the podcast and I'm not on it, it's Will's fault. I blame him.
Yeah.
All right.
Will did it.
Red is the best. I agree. Red is the best if you're talking about Kill Red 40. All right. Moving on from that, let's talk about the most important thing going on. Oh, hold on a second.
Yes.
Is Nier Automata good enough for $6? Or Nier Automata? I don't know how you pronounce that, actually. Have you played it, Will?
Mm-hmm.
You have? Is it on Xbox?
I don't remember what system I have it on.
Oh, okay.
What system is that on? I don't remember now. It's definitely worth $6. Like, there's very few games that are not worth $6. But no, that's honestly a great series. So yeah.
Allegedly, maybe like Hello Kitty Cruisers is not worth $6, but it's a game for the Wii U that's really expensive.
Some people like that game, Chris.
It really depends who your audience is. So
I don't think our audience,
daughter or whatever.
Is it on the Xbox? I didn't think it was. Oh yeah, I guess it is. All right, I guess.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, this was on a it was like a third-party sale or something.
And he said he near original P5 and Horizon Zero Dawn for $25. That's a good deal.
Chris doesn't like Horizon Zero Dawn.
I don't like that game. Yeah,
Why?
I don't. I hate the gameplay controls. I really do. It doesn't feel natural in any way, shape, or form.
Chris doesn't like
me. General's pretty solid.
The Last of Us and Horizon Zero Dawn are two franchises on PlayStation that I just can't get used to the controls on, and I'm not willing to suffer through them until I figure it out.
I mean, In fairness,
it's janky to me.
my biggest complaint with Halo for the longest time, whenever I played it, was that there was no iron sights. So
They have them now.
I know, but I'm just saying, like that was enough to.
Yeah.
I guess I can't throw stones on this one because that was enough to.
Yeah,
But yes, I love the idea of Horizon Zero Dawn's story. I think it's a great idea for a story. I love the post-apocalyptic robot future they've invented.
Mhm.
I just can't play that game. I literally can't. It doesn't work right for me. Nothing clicks. Now, Metroid, on the other hand, I have fallen in love with that series. It's great. Love that series. All right. Activision Blizzard, let's talk about it. Now that we got the big reveal of Andrew. All out of the way.
Breaking news. I know no one else knows about this, and no one's talked about it.
Yes. And I've not talked about it this week already. Definitely not.
No, definitely not.
So there's an
Well,
interesting
you did such a piss poor job. We have to talk about it now.
So there's something I really want to bring up, though. Something that a lot of people are overlooking. Obviously, Metal Jesus Rocks already covered this.
I have to show this first.
Because it sucks.
Nice.
Okay. Sierra is part of this deal. Did you guys know that?
Yeah, but when's the last time Sierra did anything?
It's been a while. They did King's Quest because they were brought back for specifically for
King's Quest. Wasn't it like 2015?
Yeah, and then they re-released it again in like 2018 or on the new Xbox. It was on the 360 and the PS3, but I think it also came to the Xbox One and the PS4 eventually. But anyways, so there's actually a game in Activision's library, after I was looking through it, that's got Metal Jesus Rocks in it. Like literally,
Really? That's cool.
Yes, from when his Sierra days. And so there's a lot of people that are fans of Metal Jesus Rocks that are like, we want that game on Xbox Game Pass for PC because I want to play the game, but I don't want to pay for it.
You know what? One of the biggest things I heard though about this deal is.
Oh, that's a good point. Go ahead, go into it.
It really expands Microsoft's gaming now into the mobile arena where they had nothing. They have absolutely nothing. So that begs the question: are they going to try? Well, I mean, are they going to try to come out with a Surface cell phone now? Because like they are now able to do mobile gaming, but they have no like app store of their own for that.
Not anymore.
So
right?
Not anymore because they stopped doing that. So it's a question of like, what is their ambitions now for cell phones?
Yeah, well, instead of an app store, they could have like a phone with just Game Pass, maybe.
Oh, that's a good point. With the backbone controller thrown in.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
because that's really where it's going. Because also with the augmented reality stuff, they're working on those AR glasses that they've had. This has also been considered a metaverse play by Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they're really trying to. They're now the third largest behind Sony and Tencent. So it's pretty big deal actually.
That actually is not where I thought you were going to go with it, but since you brought it around to where I thought you were going with it, kind of.
Oh yeah.
Here's an interesting behind the scenes thing that Phil Spencer brought up on another interview. It turns out that Microsoft wasn't their first thought to pick up Activision Blizzard, but they found out that there were some other players that Activision Blizzard was trying to sell themselves to, and it didn't sit well with Microsoft to think of maybe like an Apple ecosystem buying Activision Blizzard and maybe making all their games Apple exclusives, or say like Google and making
that would make the Luna actually worth something,
or Amazon. Yeah, exactly. So Microsoft's biggest concern was that if they didn't buy Activision Blizzard, then Activision Blizzard may leave the traditional gaming ecosystem for good.
Good. Get them out of you.
And then you lose Call of Duty, which is a big franchise. And Call of Duty is a big enough franchise that you could probably actually lure players to these other platforms.
What's crazy is that, so we keep talking about Call of Duty, and that's one that's on everyone's mind. I think,
what do they make Warcraft?
Well, yeah. But Call of Duty, I think it made $1 billion last year.
A lot of money.
But the thing is, so did Candy Crush. They made $1.6 billion of Candy Crush.
Well, why do you think Apple would be interested in this company?
I mean, Candy Crush, though, you know what the biggest demographic for Candy Crush is.
It's just regular
This is where all the lady gamers are.
Well, there's them
primarily
too,
were all
yeah.
the lady gamers.
My wife used to
That's
play
like-
Candy Crush.
Yeah, that's like so whenever you see statistics on the demographic of gamers and like the extreme surge in women getting into gaming, it's heavily skewed towards Candy Crush.
Okay,
That's
mobile
considered
games
gaming.
and Candy Crush.
Yeah.
I agree with
Yeah.
that.
But when it comes to mobile games, Candy Crush is like the gold standard because they make a ridiculous amount of money off of it.
It's definitely not Hearthstone Heroes. Let's put it that way.
No.
I know people that
got
play
that one too.
Hearthstone, but
Yeah.
we have that one. Yeah. But yeah, that's an interesting thing because imagine if Activision Blizzard had gone to Google or had gone to Amazon or had gone to Apple. How different would the gaming ecosystem be right now?
Well, it would have been eviscerated.
Exactly. Like, can you imagine if Apple bought Activision Blizzard? Where would we be at right now? You would have Call of Duty on iOS products and probably Macs, and that would be it.
Yeah, well, it would definitely be exclusive. There would be no talk of ever putting out anything else. And the thing is, the entire industry would be pissed.
Oh yeah,
I disagree. If it went to Apple, I don't think it would have become an exclusive.
You don't think so?
I don't think there's any other way to go.
Only the mobile section would have been, but they would have still released. They would still be talking about releasing the console games perfectly fine. Now, if Google got it, you'd have had a whole thing where it became like, isn't there Stadia or whatever, and that thing's trash. But if they had Activision as like their exclusive, then you have Google doing stuff with YouTube, showing primarily like you'd have so much favoritism on Google's side for marketing.
That's a good
that
point.
it would
Good
be
point.
unreal. Yeah, it would have become like so non-competitive.
Yeah, who owns Twitch?
Amazon.
So Amazon had it.
So
same
if
idea.
Amazon
Same
got
idea.
the same thing. Yeah, you'd have instantly have had an extreme biasing in the just this exact market right now that we're talking to.
Yeah,
And then
I know
Facebook owns someone now too, don't they?
Oculus. I don't think they own anything
They
besides
just own
Oculus.
the hardware
I
business.
thought
that is Oculus.
didn't Microsoft sell them? What did
They
Microsoft
sold
have?
them the back end of Mixer.
Yeah, so it's Microsoft or it's Facebook Gaming or something, right?
Yeah, Facebook Gaming is what Mixer used.
It's the same point that Andrew's making. I'll just bring up another example.
Yeah, I mean, technically speaking, Microsoft owning them, Facebook Gaming will probably show some favor to Call of Duty. My guess, because Mixer and Microsoft powers Facebook Gaming essentially. That's a weird friendship because it's like you would never think of Microsoft and Facebook in the same room, but in that case they are.
Yeah.
It won't last probably.
Oh, eventually Facebook will just cut ties, I'm sure, and do their own thing.
Don't be surprised though if you see NFTs being brought into Call of Duty.
So speaking of that, though, do you know that Twitter just started NFTs seriously the other day?
Yeah.
Did you get that notification, Will?
No.
Do you know what they just did though? And it's hilarious.
What they did?
So they're effectively the green text box in the Android versus Apple debate, where no one wants to be the green text box member and not able to use the iMessage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right.
And now Twitter basically just made it where if you were silly enough to pay for an NFT, you can now make yourself look different than all of your friends on Twitter.
Yep. That's exactly what I saw.
So if you see that stupid little box-edged profile picture, someone spent money to use a JPEG as their profile picture.
Interesting. Look this up.
I'll show you Twitter NFT. So if you have an NFT profile picture, it means you get like that. You know what? I'm gonna kill the browser so I can log in real quick. Hold on a second. Wait a second.
The other thing is it's so funny because it's like you should make it look better,
But it looks worse.
But they make you look worse because it's not even. I mean, it's not smooth.
Sense.
Yeah, so it's a.
Also, was that the actual login page or was that a glitch?
That was the login page.
Oh, that looked like garbage.
Twitter's never looked good. Let's put it that way.
Oh my gosh.
And we're streaming on Twitter right now.
I don't care. That looked terrible.
I always forget that I have the Twitter thing set up to stream too. So we're streaming to Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube right now for anybody who's wondering. All right. And for some reason, Twitter is not integrated very well with this service. I never know if anybody's watching on Twitter. And then I'll check at the end. It's like 50 views. I'm like, okay, people are watching there. All right. Let me get this typed in here.
But yeah, on that though, I don't know if you guys saw it, but like a long time ago, Microsoft was talking about like using NFTs as like merit badges within their software engineering departments and stuff. And if they're trying to get into the whole metaverse thing now that they're buying Activision, don't be surprised if they now like try to circumvent the whole loot box thing, where like
With
you're now
NFTs.
actually owning something. Yeah. So it's like you're gambling, but now like if you're actually buying ownership of something and getting a legit product, there's probably going to be like a loophole to the predatory nature towards children, since the law wasn't written towards that.
Well, I hope that Phil Spencer is better than that, but we'll see.
Phil Spencer's usually pretty good about that stuff. Here you go. So you see this right here? It says NFT guy finding out NFTs are just JPEGs, never get sold. So here's a tweet from somebody. It says there's actually a major problem with the new Twitter profile picture feature. It appears to work for any NFT in your collection, not just verified collections. That means someone can just right-click, save any NFT, mint it, and then use it as their profile picture.
That's fantastic.
So yeah, this is. Let me make.
Yeah, what's
big.
The difference? I can't tell.
Look, that's it. That's the
it.
shape of an
It has
NFT.
that stupid
that's
little
it.
edge.
Oh
And
my gosh!
It's not even nice looking. Like at least if you had pointed edges, it would be like sharp looking. But no,
it's like a rounded hexagon.
It looks like you tried to roll up like cookie dough or something.
Or like it's like a
you just
honeycomb.
couldn't. Yeah, it just looks like you don't know how to roll a ball.
No offense to the person in this tweet, but yeah, I don't like the way they look at all.
No, that person in the tweet has a Bored Ape stupid NFT that they paid money for. They deserve to.
I scrolled through Twitter a long time and I never saw like anybody have one. And now
why would you buy that? I'm so confused.
I love the Bitcoin Twitter, and they're always mocking the shit out of these NFT things. It's fantastic. It's just
NFTs are such a scam. Like I'll be honest,
it's fantastic. You have people who literally go around collecting NFT JPEGs with right-click copy.
Yeah,
copy paste just to troll.
Oh, I found one finally. There's one right there. And you can't tell if they're like in dark mode. I can't tell if that's an NFT or a circle because it doesn't show up. Oh, that's an NFT. I see it now.
Wait, really? Oh yeah, I guess
it
you can see where the stars are located. Yeah,
it definitely is. Yep.
I don't
why. Like right here.
So, okay,
if I was rich, I'd do it for a joke, as for fun.
I know we're crapping on them, but there is a legitimate use case potential for NFTs. They just have to
I agree that there is a use case for NFTs.
Yeah.
We'll get into that in a little bit here, but actually, no, screw it. Let's just do that right now, and then we'll get back into Microsoft Activision. So, Andrew, you kind of pitched me what would make sense for NFT usage.
Yeah, I mean, okay, like if you think of an MMO or just anything, right, where people are taking on this role-playing action. Let's say Elder Scrolls Online, for example.
How about WoW? Let's just use the easiest one.
Or WoW, yeah, fine, WoW. So, they have their special events. Like you'll have some major thing where like, oh, this is the challenge that the community has to go achieve. So you use NFTs for the items and characters even, and you can build legend around a character. So your character develops value based on their accomplishments. The item does too. Think of Excalibur. You can now literally have a player created Excalibur within a game because the player goes and forges this weapon. They now have it. It now records what deeds were done with it because you can do that with an NFT. So now if this player goes, oh, I'm going to go complete this major quest. It could be, if you want to be really creative as a game developer, you could create a one-of-a-kind quest that whoever gets it done first gets it done first. It's all part of creating value. So you go slay this dragon. You're now the dragon slayer as a character. You're the one who slayed Smaug, let's say, from if you're in The Hobbit. So you're now taking that value. Your character is purely unique. And as long as it's actually challenging, people will see value in it. That's what you could do with an NFT. And if you're a game developer, you could just create a sell-on fee of 10% on every NFT created for your game. So you as a game developer could profit purely off the creativity of your user base.
And you wouldn't feel like a scumbag doing it.
Yeah, and people would love it. I would love it. Could you imagine? Like you go and you could literally gain a reputation in the game as creating badass weapons.
Or you could have people be blacksmiths that actually create NFT weapons.
Exactly. And
who was it? What company charged for mods?
That was Bethesda.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Same thing.
Yeah,
same thing. It's like,
Although that was a little different because I don't think they gave the modders any money for that. They were just you had to pay for the ability to use mods.
Well, yeah, but that's the difference with NFTs is you can finally take that modding type of behavior and you can actually add legit value to it with like a contractual with an actual contractual like obligation behind it. Like you're able to sell the NFT. And my biggest complaint with games, like I played EVE Online a ton as a kid, and the biggest complaint I had, everything had real world value technically because you could put money into the game and people would put a ton of money into the game. You could lose it all, but you could never sell anything for real world money. If you did, your account would get banned.
Right, so and that's my biggest issue with that.
Yeah.
Now, I can understand why you would ban sold accounts back then. It's because somebody could easily steal your account, throw it on eBay, and sell it to the highest bidder. That's a problem. Now, with NFTs, though, because you own it with a crypto wallet, right? Yeah. So it's different.
So NFTs would prevent you from easily getting stolen. It's not simply the login. You have your whole key associated with it. So they'd have to steal your seed phrase to be able to steal your character. Now, like, EVE Online, I don't know how familiar either of you are with it.
Isn't that the one where was it Sony had that one and they had like a big dragon that they slayed?
They had Dust 514 was paired with EVE Online. That was the big that was one of the big things that Sony was trying to do. And so it was like trying to do ground battles for this game that was on the MMO, which was
that's spreadsheet
starships and space, right? Basically. Yeah. Depends it depends what you're doing. All right, it depends what you're doing. But that game, like, there's so much with it. But training a character, like, there's a huge steep learning curve. You in the beginning, your skills hours, then days, then you have things that will take months. So it's like there's a huge demand for high skill characters, which you could be completely worthless to many groups in the game until you've played like a year and a half to 2 years of constant training your character. So it's like, because the training just happens in the background, it's just a clock, but you have to actively manage it still.
And I think that what you bring up with the training your character for years and years and years, I think the ability to have your player created character, the one you've trained and gained experience with, have an NFT associated with them where you could have multiple characters associated with an NFT on the blockchain would be a valuable thing for you, because you could have 3 characters and you're like, okay, well, I don't need this third one anymore, and sell it to the highest bidder based on blockchain. It's like, that'd be pretty nice to actually get rewarded for the time you spent in game when you give that to somebody else. Sorry, I don't know if
on this is that
that's 100%.
Games are already fine. We don't need these, and like, I didn't ask for this. The thing is, like, I like the idea of having these like customizable weapons you can actually make yourself, but I would rather just have mod tools and I'd be able to create my own shit where I don't have to charge for it. If I want to like send it to a friend or something, that's totally fine. Like, this
Andrew and I are discussing as if NFTs are inevitable, and this is the way.
Yeah, but this is the same conversation that we have with loot boxes 6 years ago. So like, I don't.
No, I disagree with you on that. Loot boxes are completely different. Like, do I think that you could scam people in the same way loot boxes are scamming people? Yes, because you could create a million NFTs.
Companies are only want to F us over, man. So like that's the only way they're going to use this is they're going to F us over.
But here's my thing. Like, NFTs, at least if you give them a guaranteed cut into everything that you achieve with the NFT profit-wise, you're going to be in a much better position than the current scenario where all these MMOs, people do it. People buy and sell characters all the time. They'll pay each other for in-game stuff, achievements. Oh, go train my character for me because I'm rich and lazy. At least now you have this thing where there's an official system where you, as the like regular Joe, can create value for your character. If you ever leave the game, you can profit from everything you achieve. Plus, there's always the ability for a game studio to get super creative and have, like, I don't know, make it like Time Wizards, Time Travelers game or something, where you can go between different game universes and have certain items that will go with you. Like, you could have something like that where it now makes it's like an extra continuity to their universe, and the options for that are pretty cool. it now allows you to play to earn, which is an interesting concept, probably going to be abused. But like
Yeah, I
the
don't know.
games that currently exist,
You got to find a good dev that won't abuse it.
Which is
right now there's a ton of scammers. But,
well, yeah, anytime new technology rolls out, there's a ton of scamming. Like, look when NFC rolled out for Android. How many random NFC chips came out of, whatever country that made its way to America that did basically nothing, but they sent NFC on them? Like, any new technology will get scammed. Every single one. I've never seen a new technology come out and not scam somebody.
And I feel like right now it's just biased because it's all JPEGs.
Oh yeah. But NFTs for something that you can actually affect in game is different.
Yeah, I mean, like something that you can make in game too. Like anything, like the things that actually add tangibility of a sense to your actual skills in game, like forging and everything. That seems to be value added to me, at least, because what good is it if someone's just creating generic weapon number 2 for like 100 of them because that's the most valuable thing in the game, right? Like, let's just say you're creating the top of the line broadsword. Well, now you can create a broadsword that's more unique if you really wanted to and make it an NFT.
Why can't that just be a feature in the game though, and we just demand the developers give us the opportunity to do that?
Well, the problem there, Will, is that there's no traceability in it, and like let's put it this way. If the devs give us the opportunity to create something on the blockchain, it officially exists somewhere as a piece of code. Whereas if somebody has the access to mod and build these weapons, they can just make infinity of them and sell them for whatever money they want. And
but you don't need to sell. My point is, like, why buy it? If I just have the ability to just forge my own sword.
Nobody's making you buy an NFT.
No, yet.
Not yet.
No, let's think about this. If you're a person who likes crafting, you're good at designing art, just art. You're an artistic mind who can design these cool weapons that you could make in game. As like you're now the blacksmith as a digital artist. You could go create these unique weapons. It's verifiable that you are the artist who created it. You're the one who made this first. You now have that mythic blacksmith in your game who people are just mimicking. Like, it's not the unique weapon. It's all these aspects to it, right? It now rewards modders who can now, like, this is me, legitimately.
How does that not just completely wreck the game, though, if I can just buy the best weapon and just continuously buy better ones?
I don't think it works as well when you have stats associated with it right out the get-go. Like, if a blacksmith makes a sword and it's this stat, I think you're better if it's more aesthetic. And then there's like a limit to the amount of stats that weapon can have, and you can gain stats in game. Now, I think the real point we're getting to here is that you essentially have in-game artists that you can commission to do something for you, right? So I go to the blacksmith and I say, I want a sword that looks like this, and I describe it to them. And they create me the sword, and I pay them for their service.
So, well, then again, devil's advocate. So what would be the point of playing the game at that point? Because if most games you have to progress to get the coolest weapons, coolest looking armor. So if you can just buy one, why would I even play the game? So
I mean, that doesn't mean
if you go down the logical step there, just again, I'm gonna bring up loot boxes again. Yeah. You don't actually, the game is no longer built on a system where you have to progress. It's built on a system of NFTs where you're buying all the shit.
Well, you use achievements. The weapon is not the point. The point is what you do with the weapon.
Yeah, and not just that too. You got to think about it. Like, what's in real life? What stops you from buying the coolest looking gun in the universe?
Poor.
What?
I'm poor.
Being poor.
Okay, fine. But nothing stops you from buying it. Are you going to be able to use that gun as effectively as the Navy SEAL who's been training for how many years to use that as the most deadly weapon in the universe? No. You can do the same thing. It's like, at what point does it make sense for you as a character to not be able to buy the coolest looking weapon? If you want to waste your money, you're not going to be able to use it effectively. It's like, so why not just take that realization into the game, make it where you can't use it effectively. If you lose that weapon, let's say you're playing an EVE online style game where, oh, I bought this badass spaceship. Oh, I don't have the skills to use this badass spaceship. It's now destroyed, and I just lost what is equivalently $15 for my monthly subscription. So, like, that right there is how I would see it being balanced out. It's for that extra realism if you're trying to bring it to a game. And
no, I don't think NFTs have any place in single player games. I think they're mostly MMOs.
Yeah, no.
You like Halo Infinite campaign should never have NFTs in it. Or like, let's put Fable. Fable should not have NFTs in it. Anything that's like a single player story driven game that has a linear path to follow should not have NFTs in it. That's where I draw the line. If it's a MMO, like Destiny would be a good place for NFTs.
All I can think of is like the people who are going to pump out the best and the coolest looking items, whatever it is, spaceships, swords, guns, whatever. It's going to be the freaking company that made the game.
Well,
so they're gonna have a whole division dedicated to making that shit.
I think there has to be a limit though, because you can't like there has to be like a max number of stats I think something can have. So like let's say you get 10 strength and like 6 durability, then the next weapon could have 6 strength and 10 durability, but the points would have to balance out across all the weapons. So there has to be ups and downs. It has to be unique. It can't just be max stats across the board. This is Excalibur for the galaxy and it can slice planets in half. Like that's not.
I mean, you would say the same thing about loot boxes, but look where they took them.
Loot boxes. I disagree with the combination about loot boxes. I think
it's NFTs a money-making scheme, man. That's the only way I can think of this. The thing is, I want to support like the idea of having a independent artist making a kick-ass weapon for me, a kick-ass armor set is honestly super appealing to me.
I like that idea.
Yeah, it is very appealing. But the thing is, I'm super cynical, and I am already seeing the writing on the wall that this is just going to be used to screw us.
I don't think it has any place in multiplayer arena shooters, and I don't think it has any place in games where all the players need to be even in a multiplayer match. Now, I see these being valuable in games like what he's talking about, like EVE Online, or like World of Warcraft, where the lore behind that weapon could be worth it in its own. Let's say you take that weapon and go fight some major boss in the game, and then that weapon carries that description with it because you fought that.
Which types of games right now currently in this market make the most money?
I actually don't know.
The arena shooters.
Arena games.
They hero shooters.
Stupid skins of things.
So I mean, like they're going to figure out a way of putting it into whatever's most popular.
No, but okay. Let me put it this way too. You talked about how you were talking about how like the developer's going to come up with the coolest stuff. I disagree. Frankly, like I don't know. Do you play a lot of PC gaming at all? Because the mods available to PC gamers are always significantly better than the DLC that you get on like many things.
Mm-hmm.
It's
just about how simple this is. Well, I agree with you on that. So that is absolutely true. But in my head, at least, making these items could probably be much quicker. And if there's actually a market that's supported for this, where they can quickly make money on it, I can see that the devs actually creating entire teams specifically for this purpose. Whereas like modding takes freaking forever. There's already going to be independent modders that are going to do it for free. So why would you try to compete in that space?
Well, I mean, if there's a market, there's a market. Like people will always compete in a market. The main benefit that the NFT space would bring is that there will be an official market that allows those third-party people to come into it. Because like something as simple, they are now able to actually tax that properly with an NFT concept. Like you see, like, if you create the overall platform, it's going to be, you could put it in where it's like 10% of all proceeds go to the gaming company. You could literally do that. And they would have absolutely no reason to suppress third-party people coming in. At this point, they don't have to hire people. They could just get free money by allowing the community to do what they already do, and then they're now
they make money too.
The community. Yeah. So it's like this is right here is just pure extra income for what already happens behind closed doors. They can now bring it all the way to the front.
All right.
No.
What I was gonna say was, as far as that goes, I think that game licenses for. Hold on one second. Let me mute something real quick.
Bye, Chris. Oh, now we're waiting on bated breath. Let's see what Classy Gaming Fun said.
There we go. Now I'm in. Okay. I think that games, especially digital games, should be blockchain tradable. Like if I buy Halo and I hate it, I should be able to sell it to my friend for less money.
I like that concept.
And I think that's the way GameStop could survive as a business into the digital era, is if they had an NFT exchange marketplace for used games. Like what Intellivision is supposedly doing. I like that a lot in the fact that thanks, Pete. Anyways, I'd like the idea of being able to sell digital games that I'm never going to play.
That's something I want.
Because I can do that with my physical games. If I can do that with my digital games, you better believe I'd be willing to go digital with a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, without giving anyone else money. I just want to be able to do it.
That works for add-ons.
Or even if it was only a 5% grab on each transaction of a trade for a digital, I would be willing to accept 5% for the transaction fee.
Yeah. But what did they do?
Because
I'm just saying if they created the delivery system to allow me to sell that license, I'd be willing to take 5% off the top for them and then give it to whoever. Because GameStop's got to make their money too if they're running.
Well, I'm not paying Nike for giving me the ability to walk over to my friend's house and sell them a game. So,
the biggest difference is your Nikes have been worn down. The game is not worn down.
No, I'm selling the game. I'm making a point that Nike gave me the ability to walk to my friend's house to sell him the game. So I don't necessarily have to give Nike a cut of that sale of the game.
I get what you're saying, Will. But a physical item has the ability to degrade, whereas a digital item is re-downloadable across whatever platform you bought it on. So what I'm saying
gosh.
Here we go. So I want to trade in my digital games for discounts on new games from the same studio publisher. That's a good point. Yeah. If you traded in like games you've already, like, let's say I finished Halo 5 and I'm like, you know what? I'm never playing this again. I traded into Microsoft and they give me $10 off of Halo Infinite. I'd be down for that kind of a thing too. But I think NFTs associated with games is a way to do business in digital gaming where the player ultimately still has control over their money and what they do with it after they've purchased the game. Because that game has value and you may never play it.
I just think it brings more reality. If you want to make something more like what creates value in real life into something like an MMO, I personally think EVE Online, I know you guys don't really have experience with that, but
spreadsheets in space.
Spreadsheets in space. Yeah. Care Bear mining all the way. Seriously, that's just the way that you could really bring a lot of value to something like that. And then the company's not incentivized to crush all like transactions in the real world.
Yeah. Is there anything else we want to talk about with NFTs? Is there any other methods of NFTs?
Let's jump back into the happy news of everything being owned by Microsoft.
It's only happy for Microsoft fanboys.
Do you think it's going to be made an exclusive?
It sounds like no initially.
What, Call of Duty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think. Question. I think probably 2 or 3 years it's not going to be. I don't think I'm parroting a lot of other talking heads right now, but Warzone and like games like that where it's it's only multiplayer, it's already cross-platform. I don't think we'll go exclusive. Yeah, they'll stay cross-platform. Go on, sorry.
I don't see with the fact that Microsoft hasn't had a truly Xbox exclusive game in a long time, because haven't they been allowing everything to go on PC?
Yep.
But it's still technically their platform. It's just not the console. Yeah.
Xbox transcends the box.
Yeah, Xbox is meant to be the service in which you play, not the console on which you play.
That is definitely the play that they're going for. Yes.
But I guess at that point, they've clearly made the calculation that they value more money from because they underperformed repeatedly with the console compared to Sony. So right now they've viewed making more money through software sales versus hardware as the way to go. And I don't
Which is
see them wanting
Microsoft's
to
strategy
lose.
from the get-go.
Yeah, it's like buying Windows.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're trying to do.
Yeah, so it doesn't make any sense for them to make it exclusive, which it's hard to believe they had a.
It does sound like the consoles are neck and neck, which is really super surprising to me because I thought
Only
PlayStation
because you can't buy a PS5 anywhere.
Or an Xbox Series
Living proof
X.
of that. I can't find it anywhere.
I've seen 5 of them, dude. If you want one, tell me.
Really?
Yeah, I've literally seen 5.
Okay, well, I can't find them anywhere, and I'm over here.
I bought Will his Xbox Series X, and he paid me back. You gonna pay me back for a PS5? I'll go find one.
Of course I would. My wife watches this show called 90 Day Fiance. Some old 50-year-old woman bought this Nigerian guy who calls himself Soldier Boy the rapper a PS5, flew it all the way there to him, and I'm still here unable to find a PS5 anywhere. So I'm just like so upset.
Oh, look at Doctor's Office. The dude with the Halo Infinite Edition saying the Xbox Series X are easy to get.
What?
I disagree.
No one wants them.
The real question is, did Doctor's Office ever open his Halo Edition Xbox Series X? Because if not, I know a few schmucks in this chat who'd like to buy one. Anyway.
Also, you would be able to find a PS5 because for some reason, all of the GameStops had PS5s airdropped to them all over the greater Detroit area. So
I didn't hear that. No, I keep finding them. I keep finding them in Meyer.
No. The whole greater Detroit area is where all of them went. And I got the email from GameStop being like, "Oh, PS5's coming to stores near you."
And you're like, "I moved, you jerks."
I moved. So no, none of them are anywhere near me. They're all where I used to live. Everywhere, apparently. Like I looked at the map. Every single GameStop in the greater Lower Thumb area had like tons of PS5.
I was like, I'm gonna go buy one now.
And the deal was fantastic too, by the way. I can't even remember the game, but it was a great bundle.
Yeah, I agree with this, Pete. I will say that I really wish the PlayStation had like a Series S equivalent because I would like to get that.
It's called the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, if I could freaking find one of those.
Well,
also they're the same price as the freaking PS5 now. Like when I actually find them, they're like $350. It's ridiculous.
Well, you got to blame that on the chip shortages. Supply chain.
Same reason you can't find a new car.
Mm-hmm.
Just wait. Taiwan.
All right. I want to move into this next part here. The thing that you brought up is exclusivity. And the answer to that is, look at Bethesda. Bethesda initially, they said, well, they'll honor the contracts. And now they're saying, after those contracts are over, Elder Scrolls is going Xbox exclusive. What is it? What's the other one? Starfield is going Xbox exclusive.
Yeah, they're all going exclusive. So they actually said the exact same stuff before the ink dried, and then when the ink dried, they're like, nope, this is all going in Game Pass. But I really think that's their ploy. I think they may want all of the games on Game Pass, and then Sony's gonna be like, all right, well, we want these games, so we'll let you put Game Pass on PlayStation. I think that's the play, and then eventually Xbox isn't going to exist. It's just going to be on PlayStation, maybe like whatever the heck Nintendo makes, and on PC. I mean, that makes a lot of sense for like financially. They never have to make another console, but everyone's already playing their games.
I think there'll always be a set-top box. Maybe. I just don't know if it'll be like gaming architecture or if PC.
If they do anything, they'll go the route where Steam was trying to go with the Steam box. Because at this point, right, going off of what Will was saying, I view this as kind of the Xbox admitting defeat in a sense in the console war, because they've focused now completely on this last ditch ploy now where they're going to try to get it where everybody uses their Game Pass.
Yep.
Because they haven't been able to win the console war multiple iterations in a row, like they're going to now just try to get out of that and force the other game producers to just accept their software.
Yep.
That's where it's going.
They've got enough money to get there.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly a pretty genius move. If it works, it's a huge gamble. But I don't, the thing is, they're so chummy with Nintendo now. Did you see that Banjo-Kazooie is going to Nintendo again? And they're like,
I didn't see that.
They can play on Nintendo. So, I mean, I think that would be the first one, just like a limited number of games on Game Pass on Nintendo. That would be mind-blowing.
But Nintendo needs to, I don't know, up their game a bit with the quality of the hardware.
Yeah.
I disagree. Nintendo has never had the best hardware, and they do just fine. The games are great.
But what I'm saying is, you can't play these games that Xbox is Microsoft is championing to the same level on a Nintendo device. Okay, something as simple as FIFA 22 is vastly reduced in its capabilities on a Nintendo Switch versus just a PS4. You're not even comparing it to the PS5.
No, that's true.
So at what point, Nintendo, are they going to keep going the Switch route? Are they just going to keep making the Switch better? Are you going to have to have a much more greater cloud gaming concept for it? I guess isn't that, I guess that is kind of what Microsoft is going for.
Yeah, they do all their games on cloud now, so they could literally
the Switch literally is getting Kingdom Hearts as a cloud game. Why would you pay for a cloud game? I would just pay for a service that includes cloud games. But if you're giving me a cloud game as a purchase, I'm I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm renting a cloud game essentially. No, thank you.
Yeah, you're always going to be renting. It's no different than if you have a Kindle or any movies.
I want to pause. We have a great story in the chat here. Doctor's office says he actually opened his Halo Xbox while visiting his youngest brother, and they played it, and he told his brother it was his, and he was so excited. That is a really cool story, actually. I'm assuming your brother must be a Halo fan. What
a waste. You should have given it to me now.
No, that's a cool story. I didn't realize that's what you had bought it for. I know you talked about having it several times before, and I wasn't sure what you were doing with it since you hadn't opened it.
When I was growing up, my older brother would always buy me the Halo games. So he bought me Halo 1. He bought me the limited edition Halo 2, bought me limited edition Halo 3, bought me Reach. So that was a really big deal growing up. So,
yep. So good for you, Doctor's office. Made your brother's day. That's awesome. All right. We were into cloud gaming. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Everything digital that you own is a rental. And that's why I think that NFTs in regards to game licenses makes sense, because then you're not renting, you own that license and you can do with it what you want.
That actually, I never thought of it that way, but yeah, that would work for books, anything really, any digital media that you can't cancel it if you own it.
Exactly. That's why I've always said, I think game licenses in the digital space, I think NFTs make complete sense. I like that Intellivision is pushing in that direction, even if I don't like the method with which they implemented it by selling their games before the consoles put out.
and that is honestly one of the big reasons no one wants digital gaming.
Yes, because you don't own
the last time we were talking about it, you would never actually own the game. You would never be able to just share it with a friend. But if you have the key to use that game in your wallet because you own it with the keys to it as an NFT, then you will always have access to the game no matter what console.
Imagine you take a little card to your friend's house and you scan it on their console. Yeah. Boom, they can download it. That's awesome.
Yep.
And you can sell it too if you want to. So
exactly.
Really, that's how you merge the physical with the digital to make it where the game companies actually get to go down the digital route they want, and the consumer doesn't get screwed over.
Yep, and that's exactly what I've been saying since they first announced it with Intellivision. I said GameStop should just have a whole bunch of boxes with cards in it that are NFTs. And that's how you own your disc, because really your disc is just a license at this point. Mm-hmm. There are very few games that ship complete on the disc, and the only thing that can protect you is the fact that you have that disc with the license on it. If you move to a digital market, you have no protection. If, let's say, Microsoft bans you tomorrow, there is nothing you can do to get those games back.
Speaking of that, Phil Spencer said he would like to, ban people from every platform if they, violate whatever.
I mean, I'm not afraid for me or you, Will, at this point. I don't really think either of us are doing anything, or Andrew. Sorry, I meant to say you as well. nothing that we do online anymore, you know, is really
Anymore.
a bannable offense. I don't know what we did when we were kids, dude. It's so many years ago at this
Oh,
point.
come on.
Early
You
Xbox
know,
Live
people-
was a different place.
People have been deplatformed from banks for just having opinions.
This is
so,
true.
like, come on. Like, you
Yeah,
can be
exactly, Chris.
deplatformed
That's
for
naive.
any reason.
But I think when Phil Spencer talks about banning, he's talking about people that are like openly derogatory towards other
I
people.
mean, that's where it starts. I mean,
Right.
I sort of. The thing is,
Okay.
I already don't agree with that because it was like
I disagree entirely with it.
If
I'm
you
just
talk
saying.
crap
I
in
think when Phil
COD-
Spencer says that, though, I think when Phil Spencer says these things, he's usually coming at it from a different avenue than we are. And I
Think of how
disagree with
many-
the entire notion of it. I don't think doing something on Xbox should ban you from Sony or Nintendo or Steam or PC.
Yeah, but now
I don't
it's-
think anything you do should ban you from something else.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris, think of how many 11-year-olds on Call of Duty are going to get banned for saying the N-word. All right,
Yeah.
like, let's be real.
This is probably true. There's going to be
but now it's not just going to COD that like they won't be able to play Halo anymore. They won't be able to play Doom anymore. They won't be able to play anything because Halo owns or Microsoft owns everything.
But Microsoft has always taken the nuclear approach. Don't you remember? If you got reported for doing something horrendous on Xbox Live in the early days of Xbox Live, and most people didn't, but some people
That was
did.
3 strikes because I got reported once for something I didn't even say. But
listen, they take the nuclear option though, because if you actually do get banned, your console to the license on the console is banned from Xbox Live entirely.
Oh, that's right.
That's what I'm saying. So
it was like a 30-day ban or something.
System. Yeah, there was a 30-day ban. There was a strike system, but he was looking for repeat offenders, right? That was the early days of Xbox. Repeat offenders would get banned for the entire console was taken off the grid. You could not do it with that same IP address, with that same console, with that same Xbox Live account. You had to start a brand new account back from the beginning. I think that penalty makes sense. Like, let's say you're a repeat offender and you're doing a whole bunch of horrible stuff online, then sure, ban that account, make them start over. But banning somebody's like name and email from ever making another account, that's a little too far in my opinion.
It's tough though, because like, you know, in our heads we understand what an offender is, but you know, what do they consider it? And also, what is people going to say 5 years from now? What's an offender then? So
I agree. The people defining it is different every year.
Yeah, well, I mean, they change the Webster dictionary and words all the time. I don't necessarily want to get into politics though.
No. I'm saying when you look at the banning. You look at the banning of people online overall, it in regards to gaming, it depends on who's defining it, right? Like people in power today aren't the same people that are in power tomorrow.
No,
so
exactly.
whoever defines it makes all the decisions, and that's where your concern is. Because if I do something today on Xbox and then find out tomorrow that was not okay and you get banned from Xbox, but you don't have any way to come back on PlayStation, Steam, or Nintendo, imagine getting banned across the board for something you didn't even know was bad. So yeah, it really comes down to who makes the decisions on the banning and what their guidelines are to do so. And those could change consistently. I mean, look at YouTube. People are constantly getting taken off YouTube for saying something years ago because it exists on the platform forever.
I don't necessarily. I have comments on this, but we can say it off air. Let's go ahead and switch to what IP do you want Microsoft to resurrect?
Shivers. I'll explain. Hold on. I think it's Shivers 2 specifically.
So you want a Shivers 3 or you want them to remake Shivers 2?
No, I just want the game to exist somewhere where I can play it. Shivers 2 is like this horror point-and-click adventure where Metal Jesus Rocks plays the lead singer of a band, I think.
Oh my gosh, I know exactly what you're talking about. I can't believe you picked this one. What about you, Andrew?
I'm mostly joking. No. I would like to see like actually, I would like to see a modern take on Pitfall.
Pitfall.
That's the original like Activision breakout hit. You're jumping over pits. I mean, they made a Temple Run mobile game, but I think if you do like an Indiana Jones Pitfall thing, it'd be pretty cool.
Activision already started resurrecting what I liked with bringing back Crash Bandicoot and stuff.
Dude, yes.
So it's like,
another Spyro game. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge Spyro fan. I don't really care.
I like it when they bring back the oldies like that just to kind of spruce them up to what we expect out of gaming now. But, you know, I guess my hope is that Microsoft doesn't NFT those because that's pointless. You'll be over here in the metaverse being hopscotched by Crash Bandicoot or some weird thing. And
I'm buying the
like,
NFT of Crash
happening?
Bandicoot to play in World of Warcraft.
Yeah, well, speaking of those two games, Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, that's something that Microsoft has sort of lacked is like family-friendly games. And
what? Super Lucky's Tale? What are you talking about?
One, and they don't even own it. So they, I would really like for them to resurrect like Banjo-Kazooie. And the thing is, now they have like 3 IPs that are all very, very much like around the same time period. They probably have relatively the same audience, and all family-friendly.
See, my problem is, okay, I'm biased here, but I feel like Sony would do them better, which is why
necessarily disagree
I'm a
with
little
that.
disappointed. Yeah,
but now
I feel like they would be done better. Maybe that's just my nostalgia from playing them on PS2. So
well, the thing is, like, I would have definitely agreed with you at that point, but now I'm like, maybe it's just my like, I'm too hopeful right now.
I want Advanced Warfare 2, and I want them to put Sergeant Johnson in it.
But the thing is, I want people to stay in their own freaking franchises. I want them to make good
think
games.
About it. Sergeant Johnson would make sense. Late Night Gaming and maybe it wasn't Late Night Gaming. It might have been General Heat. One of those two guys said that Advanced Warfare makes complete sense as like a colonial war shooter for Halo. Colonial skirmishes, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
And you could easily put Sergeant Johnson in there as part of the Orion project.
Yeah, but I don't want every game to turn into Halo something.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that Advanced Warfare makes the most sense to be a prequel to Halo.
That's my point, though. It's like, but we also brought up you wanted COD Advanced Warfare, or whatever that one is, and you're like, I want another one, and we could have Halo in it or something.
No. You're
They're just going to combine
entirely.
it at some point.
I want a party shooter where you can play as any Microsoft FPS franchise character.
Oh. Make it Smash Bros, but just
all FPS. Yeah, exactly.
I still think that would play like crap.
I think it'd be so much fun. It'd be basically Fortnite, but Microsoft version, except an arena shooter.
Well, the thing is, like, when you originally said it, it's like the only problem is that all those shooters play so differently. So
yeah, that's exactly what you got to just have a balancing group set this all up. Because think about it. Super Smash Bros. All the characters in Super Smash Bros. Play differently.
You're also ripping them out of genres that have nothing to do with what they're doing now. So
exactly.
But shooters in a shooting genre, it's the same damn thing.
Sony did it too.
Sony did the PlayStation All Stars. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, screw it. Let Microsoft do it.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a shooter.
Would I buy it?
Everyone's going to be throwing
FPS Frenzy. There you go. There's the name.
Barely doing anything else.
FPS Frenzy. There you go.
Phil Spencer's going to call you up and give you a royalty for that, Chris. That's what we've missed. Oh, here's another one I forgot. So I was listening at all those FPSs in that text the other day. I forgot they're making
StarCraft.
No, what the hell is that game that they're making with the new studio?
Did they make Anthem or is that EA? That's EA. Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's resurrecting an old Rare game. Why can't I think of that? Perfect Dark. There we go.
Oh yeah. So that has nothing to do with Activision.
No, my point is that they own like every shooter though.
Oh yeah, they basically do. And there's only the one that the couple that EA own, right? Do they own EA owns? I mean, Overwatch was Blizzard, so like Overwatch is also now Xbox.
And then you guys, Zipper went out. I think they stopped producing shooters now too. You know, the people who made SOCOM and Mag.
Oh yeah.
Now that's a game that I would like to see come back.
SOCOM would be cool.
No, Mag.
Oh, Mag.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. That's right.
Yes.
Is that the group that made
the 100? You had like 200 something people on one map fighting each other. Yeah,
didn't they also make like Unit 13 or something on the Vita?
Yeah, Unit 13 was their latest game. And the thing is, the problem with Zipper is they completely failed to realize what their best games were. So they just went to Unit 13 for the Vita as their last game, and so the last SOCOM they made was awful. And if their studio would have survived if they just made a new Mag, that's all they needed for like pushing it towards PS4 or something, and that would have been fantastic. 128 people on a team. That was a solid game.
That's insanity. That's like straight up warfare.
I played that. No, it was legit actually, because there was multiple layers. You had air defense, all sorts of stuff. That is the best shooter that ever existed. And people will hate me for saying that, but it is. People shit
I
on
just
it for the
gave 5
graphics.
stars to Unit 13 on public review with the CHRILLCAST.
Apparently, I can't give an opinion because I never actually played it. So
Yeah,
I never
people
played
just
Mag
hated
either.
it for the graphics, but it was the ultimate. It was the best shooter I could think of, because it made Call of Duty, for example, just feel pointless.
well,
By
that's it.
comparison, it's
Call of
like
Duty is
shallow
pointless, so.
and pointless. Yeah, I mean, but it's just like when you have like actual teamwork and like objectives within the online match that you're fighting, it makes it seem. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but you're achieving.
Well, speaking of Call of Duty, do you think that they'll continue with the yearly releases, or do you think they're going to spread them out now that they literally own like every shooter?
What was that noise?
No, spread out money printer. No.
Well, the thing is, they'll sort of be
double
competing with
releases per
themselves
year.
now.
Yeah, they're just going to release it twice a year now.
Twice a
That's
year.
what they're going to do. They're going to have the Activision version, and now there's going to be the Microsoft version. That's going to.
What will happen is they'll release all of the previously made games in remastered HD one by one each year until they run out of remastered games to make. That's what they'll do.
They're going to release a new one every year and a remastered.
There you go. There's your twice a year.
They already did it once with Modern Warfare, and then the what was it that they released? That wasn't it the futuristic one where you had people in space and stuff?
Advanced Warfare.
They're gonna do that and remastered, and they're just gonna do it all over again, starting with the big red one.
That was a good one. The big red one. I like that one.
It was actually a good one.
I really hope that they spread them out now, because that's one of the reasons why I just can't play COD, because it's just like, well, this is going to be obsolete in a couple months, and I can't beat a game that quickly.
I think the problem with
optimism.
Andrew, I think the problem with that would be what they want is people on Game Pass. Will a new Call of Duty on Game Pass every 6 months get more people on, or will it become like complete series fatigue? I think you're more likely to see series fatigue that way.
Okay, what I'm trying to say though is they're just going to keep releasing one yearly, but they're going to be remastering every single one of them, and by the time they're done remastering all the other ones once per year, they're just going to be able to keep remastering the ones that they were producing the whole time. So you'll never have to stop remastering. Think of how many games exist. By the time they make it through, they'll just be able to keep going.
No wonder they pay the big bucks over there at Ubisoft.
Exactly. They'll have 2 Call of Duties every year for the rest of your life.
I want.
I hate the world that you're creating. Yeah, I know. I hate it.
I think what's going to happen is you'll see these old ones get remastered and put on Game Pass. I think that's what's going to happen, and then you'll see like either once per year, once every other year, you'll see a new Call of Duty.
I hope they spin off.
They don't want to give you series.
No, but
fatigue.
now it's Chris's idea. But I really hope they spin off some of those other studios to do something else, because they're so talented. They used to do cool stuff, and now they have like 5 or 6 studios working on working on Call of Duty.
Pretty much. I would like to see a Call of Duty Zombies standalone game with the entire history and background of the Zombies franchise, and just literally just call it Call of Duty Zombies. Do you know how many Zombies fans are out there that would buy that immediately? Oh yeah, I would buy it.
I'm honestly surprised I'm surprised they haven't just made one that's all zombies.
They did one time,
didn't they? Okay.
There was an iOS.
Was that the
version.
Vietnam?
No, hear me out. There was a Call of Duty Zombies on iOS that they made, and I bought it. It was ridiculously expensive. They messed up completely on the pricing structure. But back in like 2009 or 2010, they released Call of Duty Zombies on mobile, and it was $20 for the game plus $10 per DLC. So they made $60 on me back in the day when I bought all of the Call of Duty Zombie maps.
But to Andrew's point, wasn't there one where technically it was a game mode, but that you could have just bought that separately?
No.
I thought there was one.
I thought there was one too.
All right, we gotta look this up.
It was like World at War or something weird like that. I thought. I don't
know.
Remember.
World at War was the first one that had zombies in it.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Was that the first one? Okay.
I thought one of them had it.
All right, let's see here. Yeah, Treyarch said that does the Call of Duty does not have plans to make a Call of Duty Zombies a standalone game.
Maybe I'm just thinking of that first one that had zombies because that's all anyone ever talked about.
Okay, that's what I want. Microsoft, please make me a standalone COD Zombies game. I would happily pay for a zombie campaign game in the Call of Duty franchise.
Yeah, I want to see Angry Joe review that. You want to play another zombie game?
Call of Duty, Dead Men Tell No Tales.
No.
See, I don't know. They would have to do it well, and with like the actual like good story development that they do, because I have a hard time believing it would be better than something like Dying Light.
Just combine Dying Light with Call of Duty Zombies. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, buy that studio too.
Like,
or what is it, State of Decay? Did they make State of Decay too, Xbox?
Xbox owns them, yes.
Yeah, just combine that together. That would not be a good combination.
Because when you already have solid zombie games that have everything, how is Microsoft going to take a Call of Duty and make a whole zombie campaign that's compelling? I guess if it's going to have to be set in war or something, but still, yeah, that'll be weird.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want. I want Call of Duty Zombies as a game. That's what I want. That's my reboot, remake, request, whatever you want to call it, for Activision, Microsoft, whatever they're called nowadays. I want standalone Call of Duty Zombies. Yeah, well, and I know for a fact that our buddy over at what's the guy that got the Call of Duty Zombies record? What is his name?
I don't know.
He was on our podcast, and I just feel bad. JC.
Oh, okay.
JC would love that. I would love that.
So my big ask. So this, when I saw the acquisition, I was looking through like what studios does Activision actually own. I saw Treyarch, and I was like, oh my gosh, they can make another Spider-Man game. And then I was like, oh, son of a.
Yeah, he sent me that exact line of thinking in text.
I was so pissed.
And then you realize,
oh, come on. If they only bought them just a few years ago. The thing is, like, I'm still so sore about Spider-Man being console exclusive. Ugh. Let's just talk about that for the next, 20 minutes.
I mean,
okay, you know what? Fine. Let's break it.
Sony
I'm fine with that.
Does
I know that they own it, but it's just like, come on.
Do you think that Disney could even pry Spider-Man away from Sony if they tried?
No, because that's the only thing that makes money for them.
Well, don't they only have it for as long as they make a movie every so many years?
Yeah. Well, they may have renegotiated that plan. I don't know, but that was
they did allow Disney to have Spider-Man in the Marvel universe, even if he's not a prominent character in the Marvel universe. Yeah, he's actually the highest grossing superhero in the Marvel universe. Like literally the highest, the most
wholesome one, isn't it? Like
he's
I don't think anyone has a reason to hate. Yeah.
Well, the original deal that Marvel made with Sony when they brought in Tom Holland was that Sony could have all the movie revenue, but Marvel would make money off of the toys. And the breakdown between that, it's like, oh, well, the first Spider-Man movie made like $1 billion, but you should see how much the toys made. Like Marvel made out like bandits.
Well, at that point, I feel like it was just Sony wanting to get something.
Yes.
And they didn't want to make the movie per se, but it probably fulfills their obligation to make a movie.
Yes. Well, every time they rebooted, they had to start with an origin. If they wanted to reboot Andrew Garfield's, they're going to have to, start in the beginning again.
Yeah.
Because you have to have a continuous story.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that I know about this deal is the only other superhero, in my opinion, that is as well known and as well liked as Spider-Man is probably Batman. And there's a lot of disagreeing opinions on that, actually.
I freaking love Batman.
I do too.
Well, that's another thing. It's like if Microsoft owned Batman, I would be like, the thing is, I would be pissed if they made that console exclusive, because like, I don't know, it's weird because they didn't create it. It should be like it's already been on every platform. It's weird. It's like I feel differently about that than I do about COD. I don't know if that's hypocritical of me.
That's because Microsoft is the FPS king. People who play FPS usually own an Xbox. If you're really into FPS games, you're probably an Xbox owner.
Also, another thing is like I'm sure it'll be on PC. So I want Spider-Man to at least be on PC for me, and it's not. And it just,
one of the Spider-Mans is, I think, isn't it?
not the new one, man. I
Okay.
want the new shiny goodness.
You want Miles Morales.
And that is why it makes sense to own a PlayStation. And
if I can freaking find one, I've been looking for it specifically for Spider-Man.
It's just it just brings it back though. Even with Activision's overall game studios, they still seem heavily slated towards FPS themselves right now too. So it's like, it doesn't really change my perception of Microsoft as a game company. It really doesn't. You're still going to have it where those who like shooters but want to have those deeper games that they can get lost in are still going to pick Sony.
Well, they're making an Indiana Jones game.
Okay, hold on. How crazy is it that Disney bought all of Marvel for $4 billion and Microsoft is paying $70 billion for Activision?
Inflation.
Not that much.
Also,
well, wait, what year?
2009.
No, that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense.
Apparently, Sony purchased the rights to Spider-Man for $7 million.
Yeah. So Marvel was broke
on that investment.
Yeah, that's
Just
insane how much money Sony has made off that investment.
Yeah.
Marvel offered the rights to nearly every one of their characters, including Iron Man and Ant-Man, for an astronomically low amount. But Sony was only interested in Peter Parker's story. That's interesting.
Okay, now that might be the dumbest thing Sony's ever done, because Iron Man is. Come on, let's be real.
Yeah, but Iron Man wasn't Robert Downey Jr. yet.
No, yeah, but Iron Man was a B character at that time for a very long time. Like, no one really gave a shit about Iron Man.
No, but anyone with any
superhero movies weren't that popular in
creativity.
1998.
No, but anyone who's creative, right? Who has like a good vision for the future can see how popular Batman is.
Yes.
And Iron Man is an extremely similar concept, just much more high tech on his own.
But he's orange and blocky, and also an alcoholic. So there's like a lot of things going against him.
Sounds like the perfect character for the 90s.
Yeah, well now.
Robert Downey Jr. really brought.
Well, the thing is, like, when they made,
it's because I think he kind of is him.
Oh yeah, he is him. Yes.
He did have to go to rehab. Like
Tobey Maguire is Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I stand behind that.
He might honestly be the best Spider-Man still.
I rewatched them, and yeah, he really is the best Spider-Man. He plays the character so well. Also, he's clearly the strongest because he gets his ass kicked in those movies, and he just gets right back up.
I just don't like Spider-Man 3 as much.
Well, studio meddled in it. They wanted to make it into like their own universe or something, and it was dumb.
Yeah, I didn't like that one as much. I didn't like the way Peter Parker was played. 1 and 2 are like perfect movies in my mind. Number 1 and number 2 are basically perfect Spider-Man movies, and then 3 just.
Which one was 3 again?
That's one with Venom and Sandman.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Not as good.
Yeah.
Not as good.
Yeah,
they tried to put too much in it. And
yep.
That's why I'm happy they brought him back for No Way Home.
Yes.
I think the reason I didn't like that one. The reason I didn't like that one was because they had They had Venom and Sandman, and it was like.
It's a weird combination.
Yeah, especially since they lacked focus on a true villain.
Mm-hmm.
Sam
Raimi only wanted Sandman. People. So he only wanted the Sandman, but they thought that, Venom was more edgy and like the younger audience liked the dark black suited Spider-Man, blah, 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 blah. So they forced him to put it in.
Yeah, but is Venom actually Harry in the comics?
Harry? He's not in the movie either. What are you talking about?
Shoot, did I mess this up?
I thought Eddie in the comics. But yeah, I mean, Venom switches hosts frequently, but Eddie is like the main dude.
I thought in Spider-Man 3, Harry got
not now. No, he's not now.
Who plays Venom? Who's Venom in? Hold on a second.
It's Eddie Brock in both. In like the Venom movies and also in Spider-Man 3, it's Eddie Brock.
Why did I think that Harry had something to do with Venom?
No, Harry is in that movie. He plays the Hobgoblin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he takes over being Hobgoblin.
That's right. I completely forgot that. Okay, never mind.
And he goes crazy.
Yeah,
he's like just like
that,
Willem Dafoe.
Hallucinating.
They should have just had that villain because they built it up over
Yeah.
3 movies, and it would have been so cool
to have Harry come back as that.
Yeah, and just focus on that because that would have been a really good resolution to like all 3 characters: Mary Jane, Peter, and Harry. So,
how about that guy that Mary Jane left for Peter Parker? And I felt bad for him. It seemed like a straight shooter.
what's funny is that he's actually the original. Oh, depending on what version of Venom you're talking about, he's the one who brings Venom to Earth.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Jameson's kid, but I can't remember his first name. John Jameson, maybe.
I don't know. John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
All right. Well, do any of you guys play COD right now?
No.
Does this make you want to play COD?
Forever.
No, I just want to play Call of Duty Zombies. If I'm breaking out Call of Duty, it's to play zombies. I don't care for the multiplayer. They destroyed all of their campaigns. So
do you think
that's what they should do. Microsoft should fix the Call of Duty campaigns. Those used to be really well done.
They should make it not a yearly release.
I mean,
unlike Andrew down here.
Stories. Huh?
And just like they're going to release it every 3 months.
No. They need to get a breathing room.
I was joking. They're going to release it once a year with what you were saying being the remasters. But they need to just make a legit story. Mm-hmm. The problem is the reason everyone's nostalgia about Call of Duty is because they told real stories.
Call of Duty was
Think
good.
about it. World War II is all real. They followed real, military units. They gave you a real story. The thing is, they now have. Thank you. They now have it where they're trying to create these like greater than life stories that you're supposed to just buy into, and everything's shallow compared to. Oh, you're with Easy Company now, and we all know who Easy Company is. Like, come on. How can you compare? Can't.
Yeah. I just hope Microsoft never adds NFTs to Call of Duty, but
they will.
I know.
It's gonna be your loot box. Your zombies. You're gonna be getting NFT
that
zombies.
Is where NFTs become a problem.
Nope,
when
you're
you
gonna
add
be
them
getting
to
NFT
games
zombies.
like Call of Duty NFT zombies, you can buy the zombies. Every specific weird zombie is gonna be an NFT. We're selling you the Fuhrer and the General.
They're gonna take the mystery box. They're gonna take the mystery box, and you're gonna be going there, and you're gonna be like, "I want the ray gun," and then an NFT zombie's just gonna hop out, and it either kills you or you kill it, and you get the NFT zombie if you kill it. That's what's gonna happen, and that's gonna be the.
Can you do my profile?
I hate your version of events, man.
Can I make the NFT zombie my profile picture on Twitter?
Of course, and then you'll have to have that weird little. Knobby ball, and you're gonna have to look weird to all your friends, and they're gonna know that you have an NFT. And
I'm just glad that Will Will's a blue chat box again. He's back on the iPhone.
Yeah, very funny.
All right. What do we want to say? Oh, okay. What are some things that Activision can just say? All right, never mind. We're done with this crap.
They should be done with the sexual harassment.
Well, yeah,
that's what they should be done with.
Oh crap!
I hate to break it to you.
I'm sure. Well, I've already read and heard plenty of people say that once the deal is done, the ink is dry, Bobby Kodak's going to be done. He's gone. He's probably getting his golden parachute to go wherever he wants.
It's like $360 million.
But he's that's likely going to be. I think that is going to be a good working environment change for Act. I mean, say what you want about Microsoft, but I've never heard the amount of comments out of Microsoft employees that you hear out of Activision employees in regards to, especially these lawsuits and everything else. So I think the working environment will be an improvement for them.
Yeah. Well, Phil said this, Microsoft is not without its own blemishes, but it's progressively moving forward to try to address any issues like that, make better working environments. And the recent acquisitions, unlike, historical acquisitions, they actually allow the studios to kind of operate on their own, do their own thing, but they oversee it and make sure that it still has that true line of, a healthy work culture.
Right.
Yes, I'm hopeful, but what does Andrew think? I'm sure it's going to be some kind of shit future.
He's like, all the employees will be NFTs and trade between the companies.
Nope, they'll give them the little Worker Beaver NFTs that they piloted once already. If you don't commit sexual harassment in the office space, you get a little reward NFT, and then you lose it if you do.
You get like the sobriety chip.
Yeah,
so like every month you're not a dick. You get the
harass. I didn't harass anyone this week. I get to keep my NFT.
Yeah.
It's
like that progressive thing you stick in your car that tells you you're a good driver. You're a good driver this week.
I'm a good employee. No. And then they're going to anyone who misbehaves is going to be forced to play the new augmented reality Candy Crush, where they're in a room, a white room covered in Candy Crush things, and they're gonna have to escape out.
Yeah, and they slowly pile on you. It's like,
no, I'm drowning in fake candy.
That's what they're gonna. That's one of the things they're gonna come out with. Just watch.
Yeah, and if you really break the rules, you'll be an NPC in Age of Empires sent off to battle. No, I think the working environment change will be good. I know Microsoft is not like you said, not without their own blemishes. They've had their own issues, but I think that the direction that Phil Spencer is taking the company, with some things that we've got comments on, like the banning thing, but I think he's got a much better vision for employees, and overall, I haven't heard many.
Yeah. Well, did you see the restructuring? Did you see the restructuring that they announced with the Activision deal?
I did not see
the new board or whatever.
Oh, he's the CEO of gaming.
Well, he's the CEO of Microsoft Gaming, but did you see the people under him? It's over half women.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's nice to actually see someone not only say something that they're going to do it, but they actually did it. And I think that he got some really talented people in those positions. So
yeah, when you read the resumes of all the people there, like they all deserve those jobs. They did a good job to get there. And the group that they have in the team of Microsoft is very strong.
Yeah. We also built up to it. It wasn't like they didn't get caught with their pants down. Like, oh, okay, we're going to hire someone. And then, they don't do anything. The culture doesn't change. He actually is like, you know what, I'm going to do this. And he said this years ago, and he's built up to it. And it's really respectable. I have a lot of hope for Phil Spencer, and I have a lot of hope for those new execs in those positions. So now that this is coming on the heels of the NFT discussion, I'm so upset because it's like, oh, God damn it.
But you wake up tomorrow, Phil Spencer's got a hexagon.
Oh no!
Picture.
Don't worry. We'll get you your own special candy and Candy Crush as an NFT.
No, I'm so mad. Well, it's like we're finally defeating loot boxes. And it's like, oh, finally, like games are getting better again. And then suddenly it's like, no.
Which game do you want to own some land in? I think.
No, this is Phil Spencer's NFT right here. This has to be Phil Spencer's NFT. If he gets one, it's got to be this one. Go mint it. This is it.
Go mint it.
Phil Spencer, there's your NFT. Right, that has to be it. This is my favorite random picture on the internet.
I know.
It's so good.
Hey, Chris, it's never been cheaper to go mint an NFT right now. Ethereum's in the dumps. Go
Ethereum's in the dumps. Chris, is it that bad?
Click on the Thanos one.
It got slaughtered.
Click on the what?
The Thanos one.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, all the... got all the gaming companies they own.
Keeps buying them.
Here's the real question. Is this going to cause a massive acquisitions push by everyone? That's the real question.
Yeah, I'm really worried about that as well. I'm less worried about Sony because I think Sony will buy up individual studios because I don't think they have the capital to do something like
Sony
this.
needs to buy Konami. I've discussed this so many times.
Can they?
The only company, no, not Konami as a company altogether, but Konami's gaming division, because they've done nothing with Metal Gear. They've done nothing with Yu-Gi-Oh. They've literally thought, other than the thing they just released, what was that, Master Duels? I don't remember what that was called, but I think
they haven't. They still have the TV show for Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, but think about it. Konami has exited gaming for a long time.
They just keep breaking the card game, though.
And here's what they need to do: they need to buy Konami's gaming division, and then they need to hire Hideo Kojima to run the division. That's what they need to do.
Well, then everything's gonna become a walking simulator.
No. Metal Gear was never a walking simulator, and he ran that pretty well. And we could get Silent Hills, and then PT would be on Xbox. There you go. Or I'm saying Sony again.
No, it should be on Xbox. You're right. You're right with the first statement.
Then you know what, Phil?
Is,
buy a pachinko machine building Konami.
How is
Konami's
EA
cheap. It's
going
like
to...
5 to 10 billion, I think.
Shut up, Chris, so you can ask the actual question.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, what's EA gonna do now? Like, that's the real question, right? Because
Die
Yeah.
slowly. No, I'm just kidding.
their main competitor right now. Let's be real. Their main games
Battlefield.
are Battlefield,
Mass
Dragon
Effect.
Age, and Mass Effect. Like,
And
it's
sports games.
those
Anthem.
and sports games. So it's like, what's their play? Where are they going?
They got to buy
I mean,
Take-Two.
Are they
Oh.
going to try to merge with
keep
somebody?
Yeah,
Are they
merge
gonna
it. Yeah,
acquire
merging makes more
people?
sense. Yeah, EA Take-Two. That's
Right.
it.
Yeah, you build the biggest microtransaction organization ever.
I mean, they need to merge with somebody who's going to help them find more ways to.
The thing is, they're already
Microtransactions.
making crazy amounts of money. So it's like, and also this this acquisition that Microsoft is doing
Yeah.
only gives them 10% market share. So this give you an idea of how much money is actually out there. This is a lot of money. The thing is, like, EA doesn't have to merge, and they probably still make just plenty of money. EA 2K makes a lot of sense because 2K is also their main sports competitor, aren't they?
2K, but I don't think 2K is
Just for
under
basketball.
Take-Two.
Oh, true. Well,
Who owns 2K? Let's find out. 2K is an American video publisher. 2K is under. Oh, you're right. Under Take-Two. You're right.
All right. That would make a lot of sense. I don't know if they'd be able to swing that. I really wish Microsoft had bought EA. That was who I was hoping.
Well, yeah, I
going to
wanted
be.
Mass Effect under.
Yeah, well, yeah, there was a lot there that I wanted them.
I think EA is too expensive. Let's
No,
be
they're
honest.
not. They're cheaper than Activision.
How are they cheaper than Activision?
Don't look up their market share, Chris, because that's not the net worth is not going to be what they sell for. Because you have to look at future profit. You have to look at the infrastructure.
You have to look at the profits because look how much they make just off of their sports games.
I saw a breakdown of what
like-
each of these companies was worth. Hold on.
They
Well,
make
it's like
so much
people
money
keep bringing
off
up
the
that
sports games.
Microsoft spent on Nintendo. Was like, no, Nintendo is worth way more than that. That's what
Oh, yeah.
that's what they have right now.
Companies.
That's not future growth. That's not bringing the personnel. It's not like the random background infrastructure that Microsoft wouldn't have to build. Yeah.
I just
There
think
you go.
EA has way too many yearly titles that people just blindly
Okay,
buy.
here you go. Microsoft. Oh, here you go. Market cap 2. My goodness.
No, that doesn't. No, that's not. That's
No,
not,
market cap was what
that's
they were
not-
going by. Hold on. I just want to look at market cap because that's where we're at. Continue.
Yeah, but they're being listed. Everything I'm reading, they're
Okay,
being listed
2.3
behind
trillion
Tencent
for
and
Microsoft.
Sony.
No, in gaming, they're behind them. Yes, but these
Yes.
are mostly strictly gaming companies.
Oh, are you
Tencent
looking
is-
at Microsoft in totality?
Yes, 2.3
Mhm.
trillion.
Okay.
They're actually behind Sony and Tencent, but in gaming, Tencent is the highest. Sony is actually second. I was really surprised to find out that Sony is second behind Tencent. I didn't realize Sony had such a strong publishing strength. Nintendo's 55 billion in market cap. Roblox. I also didn't know this company was worth that much money.
See, the thing about Sony though is that
There's
Sony
EA right
has
there.
so
I
many
bet you
studios.
EA has been cheaper than Activision. I mean, look at this. Take-Two is only 18 billion.
Well, what
I
was
don't know.
Activision? It's
Konami's. I think Sony could realistically buy Konami.
Well, you could buy Konami, you could buy Ubisoft, you could buy any of
Although
these
Square
companies
Enix
out
might make
here.
more sense. I don't know. I guess it would depend. But Konami doesn't do anything with their franchises, so nobody would be upset if Sony bought Konami and started producing new Konami games. It'd be
I
the
don't think they
easiest
care
sell.
if they're upset. I don't think
I
don't
understand
think
that. I'm
they
just
care.
saying the market's reaction would not be darn you, Sony. It would be great. We can get some more Konami games. It makes the most
CD
sense.
Projekt. That would be good. Actually, that's what they should buy right there. Them or
CD
Sony,
Projekt.
actually,
They've
Sony.
only got like 5 games.
So
I think
I
Microsoft
am.
should buy both of those, CD Projekt Red and Sega.
yeah,
No, you got to
actually,
remember,
I would buy
Sony.
both.
The only company that can buy Sega is Nintendo and Sony because they're in Japan. You cannot purchase a Japanese company with an American company.
They should just buy Japan.
without some serious caveats.
What is the look up Japan's gross domestic product? I want to know if
You want to
Microsoft-
buy Japan?
I want to know if
That's not even a thing.
I don't want to insult anyone that's Japanese. Like, I'm not sure how much they actually make. I'm sure some countries they could make less than what.
Aren't they? They're
5
one
trillion.
of the largest economies. What are they? Which economy?
They're one of the largest economies. You're right about that. They
Yeah.
are.
Which
what's
one
the
are
US
they? Are they
is?
the?
Do you want to know?
Isn't
It's
Japan like the third largest economy or second largest
They're
or
huge.
something? Yeah, they're like
one of the
second, third
technology
largest.
leaders. 20 trillion for US.
If I was Microsoft, I would just start buying states. like think about it. Like you could buy the debt and then you would own the state. It's like,
I mean, technically speaking, yes.
why?
But
Like, if I was Bill Gates, because I realize this is a huge aside right now, but I
oh
had
my
a
god!
ridiculous
Well, let's
amount
not
of
go
money.
there. Let's not go there right now.
I would just start buying up the debt because then you get to own the state. And
Debt is worthless. Don't buy debt.
Then they owe you, man, and then you can just do whatever you want.
No.
What are you saying about that?
Let's get off of this. No. This is not a subject for this podcast. All right, we're done. We're done with that subject. Okay. All right. Let's move on. Okay. Activision Blizzard is now the cozy partner of Microsoft.
It's not.
Who do you think
officially yet,
Nintendo should buy?
Nobody.
Sega.
It's Nintendo.
I think I think Sega makes the most sense. Uniting Sonic and Mario finally.
That's the only one that would make sense.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that makes sense. I don't see Nintendo doing that. When was the last time they made an acquisition?
Last year.
Who?
It was a company that already made, like, they were already working with directly. I'm trying to remember who it was.
Wasn't it like a technology though?
No, it was a gaming company. Nintendo acquisition. Let's see. I think it was somebody that worked on Pokemon with them. Hold on. 900 million. I'm on the wrong article. Hold on. There's a list of my Nintendo acquisitions. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Nintendo acquisition. Shoot. History. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. There was a big gaming company they had just bought. Oh, I clicked the wrong thing again. Hold on. Where is it? Come on. Scroll already. Here we go.
I'm dying now. Green Bay just lost to San Francisco.
Did they? Oh, darn.
Yeah. It
Let's
kills
see.
me.
It's got to be in here somewhere. Hold on. That's not what I don't want to add a bookmark for Nintendo Wikipedia. I want to find acquisition.
Clearly wasn't that big. It's really hard for you to find it.
It wasn't important.
It was last year.
When are they coming out with the new Switch? Let's come on.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, well,
the
they're
next
gonna come
level
out-
games.
they're gonna
acquired
have
next, hold on. They acquired Next Level Games, who makes NHL Hits Pro because they own Midway Games.
What the hell is that? What is that game?
I don't know. They're the company that produced the Luigi's Mansion, the Metroid Prime Federation.
So they were
Wars.
working explicitly on Mario titles.
Right, but I guess Sony
So
expressed
they were
Sony
basically
expressed
a
an interest
Microsoft game.
Sony expressed an interest in buying this company, and so Nintendo, to protect their assets, bought them first. But look, they also made Captain America: Super Soldier, the game, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3. They made a Tom Clancy game. They made Punch Out.
That don't tell me that. Tom
They made
Clancy game
Ticket
was
to
something
Ride.
Yeah,
think
so
about.
they didn't make those. They're ported.
They
them.
made a Spider-Man game. No, they didn't.
The publishers.
They
It's on
did
the
make
side.
Mario Strikers Charged, though. That is a thing they made.
Did they
And
actually
Super Mario-
make
Oh, they made
those?
Super Mario Strikers. What the heck? We need a new Super Mario Strikers game.
That is one that's been neglected for way too long.
Yeah,
That is
I
a
don't think
great
Strikers.
game.
That.
I guess
Have they not made a new Striker since then?
No, there was a Charged on the Wii.
That was like a year later.
Yeah.
They haven't made a new one in 13 years.
Yeah, you're right.
That's impressive.
Well, let's see. Series Mario Strikers. I thought there was supposed to be a new. Yeah, you're right. The last one that was made was the Wii. Wow, that sucks.
13 years.
That's horrible.
And that was just a port from the previous one, basically.
Yeah. And then there's Super Sluggers.
That's
They haven't made another one since Super
weird.
Sluggers either.
They keep making tennis.
Yeah, apparently tennis is like.
That's
an
the
easy
one they
to
always
do.
make. I don't understand why they don't make the other games. That would be easy money.
Also, that whole they can't buy a Japanese studio, is that true? Because they tried
Oh
to buy
no,
Nintendo.
the Japanese government has to approve all acquisitions of companies that are Japanese.
So it is possible.
Japan is super protectionist.
They've got, so it used to be easier to buy into or own a Japanese company, and it's gotten harder over time.
It's a very protectionist market.
Yes, they don't want
clearly working for them,
controlling their business culture.
Well, I mean, their companies are there's like a if you know anything about the way they operate their economy is they like buy their stock market, so the government's heavily involved in those big companies. So there's like almost a corporate merger with,
and there's corporate loyalty too to the government. It would be near impossible. It would be near impossible for Microsoft to buy a Japanese company. You'd be better off making your headquarters in Japan and then buying a Japanese company than trying to buy one outright from a foreign company. That's one of the reasons why I think Sony moved their gaming headquarters to California. So it'd be easier to do business in the United States.
Can they buy the American division?
I don't know. I really don't know. I'm just saying, like, that's something, though. They did move their headquarters out of Japan for the gaming division. PlayStation's headquarters are in California now.
I mean, that made sense, though, just because Sony was so big with Hollywood. So
that's true. Sony's got a lot of Hollywood.
You might as well just merge it with with some of their biggest
that's a good point.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anyways, what would we like to say? We want to say thank you to Andrew for hopping on here with us.
Yeah, thank you, man.
And you guys can look for more Andrew on the CHRILLCAST. No.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, I realized you changed my name. I didn't even see you do that, Chris.
You changed it to that. I changed it back.
I know. I didn't see you change it back.
I changed it forever ago. And then you got to always ask, will he cast to Will? But there's that. The will he cast? And maybe we'll bring Andrew in on some Sea of Thieves action since he's got a PC.
Yeah, I have to get back into my gaming routine more often. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, once he makes that big krill bucks. No.
Yeah, I really have been getting back into gaming because of the lockdowns the last couple of years. So I went through like a ton of games in my backlog. Now I got that itch. I got to play.
I like getting those platinum trophies.
I suffered from Banner Lord Mountain Blade finally being released, and then getting obsessed with just playing the same game. That's where I was at.
Fair enough. And it's spreadsheets in space.
I haven't played that in forever.
We should do an MMO cast at some point just to talk about MMOs, because I did try World of Warcraft one time, and I got so many headaches playing that game. I stopped.
I couldn't get the download.
I never played it.
I did. I made my character a panda, and I trolled the hell out of all my friends.
I remember that expansion.
It was popular when I didn't have internet. So,
well, that doesn't work very well.
Yeah. That's the problem when you grow up in the middle of nowhere. That's not a problem. That's a good thing. I mean, that's one of those things where that's why you develop a liking for Sony games that actually have so much more offline than online.
I knew you were going to go that way with it.
Hey, Halo's never been a franchise that was dominated by just the online. People can play the campaign. Oh, good. I'm glad Doctor's Office at 9.03. I was saying in the beginning, and based on all the information we got on that, 9.03 seems a lot safer than the 9.00 update. So good to hear that. Good. Glad you were safe with that. Always wait a couple days to do the updates, because that's when you find out when people had failures before you did.
Yep.
Then you can wait until everybody else fails, and you can do it later. All right. Anyways, guys, appreciate you two being on here, and CHRILLCAST is looking strong, so that's good. So, as always, I am Chris.
And I'm Will.
I'm Andrew.
And we will see you
on the next CHRILLCAST. Bye, guys.
I think you should let Andrew say bye, guys.
No. I bought that NFT, Chris.